Alrighty, homies, we're gonna talk about what everyone is here for, and that is the conversation about Xbox Game Pass. Because let me tell you something. I predicted this was gonna happen. I predicted that Game Pass was going to increase. Now, I talked about this with another content creator, and I was like, and they like we all pretty much like everyone in the group that I talk with in the circles that I frequent in, they all said the same thing. They said new games day one is not gonna last, especially at what it was at first, like $15.99. It wasn't going to last much longer. Then moving games over to PC Game Pass, because what's the point in buying an Xbox if you just have a PC and you can use the PC Game Pass? That was another reason for the price hike. And then I don't know if y'all caught this, but it was either a month ago or a couple of weeks ago, Microsoft recently upped the prices for the Xbox Series consoles. So that was already a major red flag in itself. Also, hi Dynastic, how are you doing? Great to see you. I'm doing okay. We're just talking about Square Enix trying to we're just talking about Square Enix, and we're talking about Game Pass. But yeah, Xbox, they're pretty much cooked. Myself, Lone Wolf, we talked about this across many different streams, but we knew Xbox was going to get cooked. We knew they were going to get cooked because if you take a look at this right here, in the Forbes article about Game Pass, it's time to draw a line in the sand, a bright green line. Microsoft just announced a 50% increase in Xbox Game Pass subscriptions, bringing the cost of Game Pass Ultimate up to $30 a month. Lone Wolf and I, we called this. we called this happening, and the first red flag was increasing the prices of the Xbox Series consoles, which, I mean, granted, the consoles were relatively cheap. At the highest, they were like $350, so they were pretty much the equivalent to the price of a Nintendo Switch. So, like, buying a cheap console with Game Pass, I mean, that sounds like a pretty good deal, right? You're essentially paying, what, $360 if you get Game Pass and the console. I mean, that sounds like a fair deal, right? Then once the price is hiked up, then it was like, they were like, oh shit, we gotta like really, we gotta come to reality here and realize that we're losing money on this. And then the Ally, which is the handheld, that's $1,000. So they're really trying to make up money that was lost. Like the Xbox Series consoles cost Microsoft a lot of money, and really Xbox hasn't recovered. They have not recovered from the previous generation with Xbox One, and I believe the Xbox One, it was either like the One S or the One X, something like that. I don't know what it was called. But yeah, the Xbox One generation, that really screwed them. That really screwed them over. And then they really haven't recovered. They really haven't recovered from because the 360 era, I don't think Xbox will ever achieve that level. They will never get to that level ever again. Like, I don't know what happened with the Xbox One, but that generation was a disaster. And I think it was because they had no exclusive studios outside of, they had like no exclusive franchises outside of Halo and Gears of War. But now you can get Gears of War on PlayStation. So, and then on top of that, all of the money that Microsoft spent acquiring all of these studios, like Bethesda, all these other studios that I'm completely drawing a blank on what studios they bought, but between the money they spent buying up all the studios, the money that was lost from Starfield because that game sucked, and then on top of that, like all of those games, they're gonna be brought over to the PlayStation 5. So if you already have a PS5 and you want to play, like, let's say Gears of War Reloaded or Forza Horizon, you can just wait and pay at most $70 to play it on PlayStation, as opposed to just buying up another console, getting Game Pass, and then only for a month later for it to be released on PlayStation. It's a waste of money. And this all dials back into Game Pass. Lone Wolf and I talked about this. On stream. Game Pass, like all of the day one games on Game Pass, they're not gonna last long. And we talked about this for well over a year and a half. And we're now seeing it catch up to them, because now they're trying to get back into the green, because according to this article, you're spending $240 just on Xbox games this year. And you don't even own the game, so technically you're just wasting $240 every single year. And you look at all of the studios that they bought, look at this, right? $68.7 billion they spent acquiring Activision Blizzard. And Activision, they're in deep shit. Activision Blizzard is already in deep shit with all the stuff that they're doing, but that's a different video. So it's just a culmination of bad decisions, bad games, bad business practices. It's just all rolled up into this, and now gamers are pissed. Gamers are pissed now because, oh yeah, Call of Duty. I forgot about Call of Duty and Battlefield. Yeah, EA, I think they acquired EA. So between Call of Duty, between Battlefield, Gears of War, because those are all going to be available on Gears of War is already on PlayStation, but the others, they're either going to be on PlayStation soon or already on there. There's no point in getting an Xbox. And it's just a culmination of bad decisions, one after another, and it gets to a point now where Microsoft is having to think to themselves, Ninja, we are cooked. So we got to find a way to make back money. And the way they did that was hiking up the prices of Game Pass and their consoles. And now gamers are pissed because they're having to spend more money. And that's more money that they either don't have or they're not willing to spend. And so when you piss off your audience, you piss away money. Oh, Saudi Arabia did? That's even worse. But yeah, I don't know. Xbox, they're just cooked. They are absolutely cooked. I don't see how they can even continue to be a thing at this point. Like, they should just shut down operations. And I suggested this in a good friend of mine, his stream. I told him what Xbox should do is just close down and become a PC software company where they make games for the PC Game Pass, and try to compete with Steam. Even though Steam would absolutely cook them, at least they can go down with some dignity, because PlayStation, they passed them by 2.5 generations ago, towards the tail end of the PS3's life cycle. When the PS4 started coming out, it was pumping out consoles out the woozah, and is still continuing to do that to this day, even though we are all steep into the PS5 generation. And then Nintendo, they're just in the background eating crayons. But that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, at this point, they should just make Game Pass PC exclusive and sell games and have discounted games for subscribers on PC. And yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, Saudi Arabia. Okay, so it was oh gosh, why Saudi Arabia though? Gosh, if it isn't already bad enough, if it isn't bad enough, they bought WWE. And I'm saying that jokingly. Yeah, that's a different conversation, because I highly doubt Saudi Arabia is going to bring back classics from EA. But that's a different conversation. But chat, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Is Xbox cooked? Can they make it back? Let me know what y'all think, and we will talk in the next video. Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.